All right, let's dive right in and demystify the modern AI agent stack. If you're a technology leader trying to build for the future, you absolutely need to understand this. We're going to break down how these amazing AI systems can actually get real work done. You know, this quote from Anthropic, it just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly frames the problem we're all facing. We have these brilliant large language models, but for all their power, they're basically locked in a digital box, totally cut off from your company's live data and all the tools you use every single day. So this is the big question, right? How do we get that AI out of the box and into the real world where it can actually be useful? That's what we're going to do here. We're going to build up an AI system together, layer by layer, so you can see exactly how all these pieces, like agents and RAG and MCP, fit together. Okay, let's start at the absolute beginning, with the base layer, the LLM itself. And the best way to think about it is as a core problem we have to solve. I like to call it the brain in a vat problem. Think about it. An LLM on its own is this incredible reasoning engine. It's brilliant, but without any connection to the outside world, it's just a brain in a vat. It can think, it can process the information it was trained on, but it can't act. It can't access any new information. It's literally trapped. So, what's our first step? We have to give this brain a way to act. We need to give it some hands and feet. So let's add our first layer and introduce the idea of an AI agent. An AI agent isn't just a model that answers questions. No, it's an autonomous actor. And this is a really profound shift in thinking. We're moving from a passive Q&A tool to a proactive system that can actually get things done. We're giving it a mission. And this pilot analogy is absolutely key to understanding the whole stack. The agent is the intelligent decision maker in the cockpit. It's the one steering the entire operation, making choices to reach a specific goal. So what really makes an agent an agent? Well, it boils down to these four things. It's autonomous, meaning it works on its own. It can plan, breaking big goals into smaller steps. It knows how to use tools. This is a big one. And it has memory, so it has context. This is what turns a simple model into a virtual teammate that can actually help you. Okay, great. We've got our pilot in the cockpit. But you know what? A pilot doesn't fly blind, and neither should our agent. They need good information to make good decisions. And that brings us to our second layer, knowledge. This is where RAG comes in. RAG, or Retrieval Augmented Generation, is like a just-in-time briefing for our pilot. It's the main way we can feed an agent up to the minute or proprietary company data without having to do a massively expensive retraining of the entire model. And sticking with our analogy, RAG is the pilot's flight manual. It's the pre-flight briefing. It provides essential, critical information, but, and this is a really important distinction, it's passive knowledge. It's the manual, not the act of actually flying the plane. This slide just lays it out perfectly. RAG is the knowledge, it's passive. It says, here's the data you need. The agent is the actor, it's active. It asks, okay, what should I do with this data? RAG gives the pilot a weather report. The agent reads it and decides to change the flight path. They're not competing ideas at all. They're collaborators. All right, so our pilot can think, and they've got their flight manual. We're getting somewhere. But there's still a huge missing piece, isn't there? How do they actually, fly the plane? How do they flip the switches and pull the levers? That's our final layer, the connection. And that connection is MCP, the Model Context Protocol. This is a standard introduced by Anthropic that acts as the universal communication layer between the agent and all its tools. Think of it as the universal language for AI to get things done. Now this is the analogy that should make every CTO's ears perk up. MCP is the standardized control panel in the cockpit. It's the USB-C port for AI. Instead of needing dozens of different, custom, brittle connectors, you have one standard plug. Any agent can connect to any tool. It's a game changer. So here's the crucial business case. MCP solves what we call the M by N integration nightmare. Where every one of your M agents needs a custom connector for every one of your N tools. It's a mess that grows exponentially. MCP changes that from a quadratic problem to a simple linear one. This makes your entire AI ecosystem infinitely more scalable and maintainable. So, how does it work under the hood? Well, it's not magic. It's a very well-defined protocol. An agent gets a request. It looks at the available MCP tools and finds the right one. It formats a standard call and sends it. The MCP server does the work, like querying a database, and sends a structured result back. It's this clean, predictable, repeatable loop. Okay, let's put it all together. Time to zoom out and look at the complete, cohesive picture of this modern AI stack, the whole shebang. If you remember one single thing from this entire explainer, please make it this slide. The AI agent is the pilot, the one who plans and acts. RAG is the flight manual, providing passive knowledge. And MCP is the standardized control panel the pilot uses to interact with a plane. These are not competing technologies. They are distinct, complementary layers that work together beautifully. So why should you, as a technology leader, really care about all this? What's the bottom line? Let's talk strategy and look at the implications of building your systems this way. The benefits of this layered approach are huge, and they're not just technical, they're strategic. You get a future-proof, interoperable stack where you can swap out models, you get real scalability, you get centralized governance and security, which is massive, and you get reusability, so you build a tool connection once and every agent can use it. But let's be real for a second. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. This is new tech. MCP is still evolving. There's operational overhead to manage, and there are very real security concerns you need to plan for. It's not a silver bullet, but it is an incredibly powerful architectural pattern. So let's just boil it all down one last time. The takeaway is simple and clear. AI agents are the actors, RAG is their knowledge, and MCP is their standardized connection to the world. Understanding these distinct roles is the absolute key to architecting AI systems that actually work for your business. And that leaves us with a fascinating question to chew on. MCP gives us a standard for how a single agent uses tools. But what's next? As these agents get more and more capable, the next great challenge will be orchestrating entire societies of agents. How do they collaborate? How do they negotiate? That, right there, is the next frontier.